Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Myself, Afrin Fatima. So, I'm going to talk about cell, the unit of life. So, let's start. Introduction. Cell is a basic structural and functional unit of all living organisms. It is an aqueous compartment bound by cell membrane, which is capable of independent existence and performing the essential functions of life. So, cell is a basic structural and functional unit of life, cellular organisms. It is a cell. It is an aqueous compartment and they are bound by cell membrane, which is capable of independent existence and performing the essential functions of life. All cellular organisms consist of cells. Cellular organisms may be a unicellular or multicellular organism. First observation of cells discovered by Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke, in the year 1665, while observing cork through his microscope, he saw tiny box-like cavities, which he illustrated and described as cells. Robert Hooke used the term cell. He discovered plant cell. So in the year 1665, Robert Hooke was the first discovered cell in a piece of cork and also coined the word cell. The word cell is derived from the Latin word cellula, which means small compartments. Robert Hooke published his findings in his famous work Micrographia. Actually, Robert Hooke only observed cell walls because cork cells are dead and without cytoplasmic contents. Next, another one scientist named Anton van Leeuwenhoek. In the year 1673, he invented handcrafted microscopes. Anton van Leeuwenhoek first observed living cells. He discovered single-cell organisms and named as animalcules. So this scientist Anton van Leeuwenhoek was the first person who observed or discovered living cells under a microscope and named them animalcules. Animalcule means little animals. So now we will study about the cell theory. Cell theory was jointly put forward by Schleiden and Schwann in 1839. Cell theory states that the bodies of all organisms are made up of cells. Cells emerged on Earth at least 3.5 billion years ago. So in the year 1839, Schleiden, a German botanist, and Schwann, who was a British zoologist, led to the development of cell theory. So this theory states that all the living things are made up of cells, and cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Matthias Schleiden, German botanist. So this Matthias Schleiden was a German botanist. So in the year 1838, Matthias Schleiden concluded that all plants were made up of cells. So he concluded that all the plants were made up of cells. Another scientist, Theodor Schwann. Theodor Schwann was a German zoologist. In 1839, Theodor Schwann concluded that all the animals were made up of cells. In 1838, Schleiden defined the cells as the basic unit of plant structure, and a year later, Schwann defined the cell as the basic unit of animal structure. Theodor Schwann reported that animal cells had a thin outer layer which is now called plasma membrane. He also concluded that the presence of cell wall is a unique character of the plant cell. Altogether, this cell theory states that cell theory holds true for all cellular organisms. Non-cellular organisms such as virus do not obey cell theory. Over the time, the cell theory has continued to evolve. So, the modern cell theory states that all cellular organisms are made up of one or more cells. The cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life, and all cells arise from pre-existing cells by division. Energy flow occur within the cell, and cell contain hereditary information DNA, which is passed from cell to cell. All cells have basically the same chemical composition. So the classification of organism you can see here in the table. Unicellular organism that only have a single cell. So the unicellular organism are made up of one cell. They are simple organism and perform all functions in single cell. Most of the prokaryotes are unicellular in nature. A unicellular organism can be an amoeba, bacteria, or paramecium. Next, coming here to the multicellular organism. Organism consists of many cells. Multicellular organisms are the ones which are made up of more than one cell. They are complex organisms and have specific cells for specific function. Most eukaryotic organisms are multicellular. Multicellular organism can be a plants or an animals. So here let us study about the unicellular organisms. So as I have said before, a unicellular organism, also known as single-celled organism. Unicellular organism fall into two general categories, mainly prokaryotic organisms and eukaryotic organisms. All prokaryotes are unicellular. All prokaryotes are unicellular and are classified into bacteria and archaea. Many eukaryotes are multicellular, but many are unicellular also, such as protozoa, unicellular fungi, and unicellular algae. Next, the examples of the unicellular organisms. All bacteria. The bacteria includes E. coli bacteria, Streptococcus, Holobacteria. Now coming to all protists like amoeba, euglena, and paramecium. And some algae includes Chlamydomonas and Saccharomyces, that is yeast. Now coming to multicellular organisms. Multicellular organisms comprises of many groups of specialized cells called tissues to perform particular function. So the multicellular organisms are made from more than one cell. They are complex organisms and have specific cells for specific function. And most of the eukaryotic organisms are multicellular. So the examples of the multicellular organism are fungi, plants, and animals. So here also you can see the examples of the multicellular organism. It can be a frog, bird, fish, or an earthworm. Now next, let us study about the structure of plant cell. Plant cell have a cell wall, a large central vacuole, and plastates such as chloroplast. So the plant cell consists of a cell wall. Cell wall, it is the outermost rigid non-living structure of a plant cell. It is the characteristics of metaphylleta plant cells, and it is found in fungi, bacteria, and cyanobacteria, and some protista members. And these cell walls are made up of mainly three layers: primary cell wall, secondary cell wall, and tertiary cell wall. And the function of the cell wall is to give physical, chemical, and biological protection. It is permeable to various substances required by cells, and it provides a definite shape, mechanical strength to the cell due to its thick, rough, and tough nature. And also it bears pits through which plasmodesmata are present, which help in movement of substances from one cell to the another. Plasmodesmata are nothing but the cytoplasm of one cell is connected with that of the adjoining cell by fine cytoplasmic strands. This is known as the plasmodesmata. So the cell wall is a rigid layer that is found outside the cell membrane and surround the cell, providing structural support and protection. As I have said earlier, it provides the structural support and protection to the cell, and a large central vacuole is present which maintains turgor pressure against the cell wall. mainly the function of this vacuole in the plant cell is to help to maintain water balance, and this vacuole is a membrane bound cell organelle, and this vacuole help to maintain water balance in the cell. So this is the structure of the plant cell. Here you can see the endoplasmic reticulum, cell wall, and cell wall it is only present in the plant cell, whereas in animal cell there is the presence of plasma membrane. So, and the cell membrane it is present in the plant cell, and vacuole, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, peroxisomes, amyloplast, chloroplast, ribosomes, nucleus, nucleolus, and cytoplasm. These all are the cell organelles, and these are present in the plant cell, which I am going to discuss in detail about the cell organelles in the next video. So now coming about the structure of animal cell. Animal cells are typically of eukaryotic cell enclosed by a plasma membrane. So these animal cells they are enclosed by a plasma membrane, whereas the plant cells they are enclosed by a cell wall. And these animal cells containing a membrane bound nucleus and organelles, unlike the eukaryotic cells of plants, fungi, and animal cells, do not have cell wall. And the cell organelles are enclosed by the plasma membrane, including the cell nucleus. Unlike the animal cell lacking the cell wall, plant cells have a cell wall. As I have said earlier, plant cells are made up of plant cells have the cell wall, whereas in animal cell wall is absent, and centrosome is absent in the plant cell, but whereas in the animal cell centrosome is present. And plastids are present in the plant cell, whereas coming to the in the animal cells plastids are absent. And the cell organelles here are enclosed by the plasma membrane, including the cell nucleus, unlike the animal cells lacking the cell wall, and plant cells have a cell wall. So this is the structure of the animal cell. Here there is a presence of smooth endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, vacuole, centrioles, rough endoplasmic reticulum, cytoplasm, microtubules, pinocytic vesicles, ribosomes, lysosomes, nucleus, nucleolus, Golgi vesicles, Golgi apparatus, cell membrane, and all these cell organelles these are present in the animal cells, and I am going to discuss in detail about the cell organelles in the next video. Then next we will study about the difference between the plant cell and animal cell. Plant cell, usually they are larger than animal cells, but animal cells usually smaller than the plant cells. So the cell wall present in addition to plasma membrane and consist of middle lamella, primary and secondary walls, whereas in animal cell wall is absent. In plant cell plasmodesmata is present, whereas in animal cell plasmodesmata is absent. Plasmodesmata, it is nothing but the cytoplasm of one cell is connected with that of the adjoining cell by fine cytoplasmic strands, which extends through extremely minute pits that are left in the cell wall during its formation. These cytoplasmic strands are called plasmodesmata, and they are present in the plant cell but absent in the animal cell. Then chloroplast, it is present in the plant cell but absent in the animal cell. Chloroplast, these are the plastids which contain colored pigments except green pigments, chlorophyll. So these are present in the plant cell but absent in the animal cell. Then vacuole, large vacuole and permanent. There is a presence of large vacuole and they are permanent, whereas in the animal cells vacuoles are small and temporary. In plant cells vacuole help to maintain water balance, whereas in the animal cells vacuoles are generally small and help squeeze to waste products. In plant cell, tonoplast present around vacuole, and this tonoplast, it is absent in the animal cell. Tonoplast is nothing but it is the membrane that surrounds the central or large vacuole of the plant, and it is present only in the plant cell. Whereas coming to the animal cell, they do not have any such central vacuoles. Hence, tonoplasts are unique to plant cells and cannot be found in the animal cells. In plant cells, centrioles absent except motile cells of lower plants, whereas in the animal cells, centrioles are present. So these centrioles, these are present only in the animal cells. This structure is a conspicuous structure in animal cells, and these are absent in prokaryotes and higher plants. And centrosome is present near the nucleus, and the function of the centrosome is to give rise to basal bodies from which cilia and flagella arise. Or another function of this centrosome, at the end of the prophase of mitosis in animal cells, centrioles duplicate and new daughter centrioles are formed. In plant cell nucleus, they are present along the periphery of the cell, whereas in animal cell, these nucleus, they are present at the center of the cell. And in plant cell, lysosomes are rare, whereas in animal cells, lysosomes are present. Lysosomes are single membrane sac-like structures, and they are only found in the eukaryotic cells and absent in prokaryotes. These lysosomes are regarded as the suicidal bags because they take part in intracellular digestion, especially when the cell experiences starved condition or acute problem of survival. And they are rare in the plants, and in animal cell they are present. So in plant cell, next storage material is starch grain, whereas we can see in the animal cell storage material is a glycogen granule. So this was about the difference between the plant cell and animal cell. So this was about the introduction of cells, discovery of cells, and the classification of living organisms, and structure of plant cell, animal cell, and I have explained about the difference between the plant cell and animal cell. So in the next video I am going to talk about the cell organelles in detail, and stay tuned for the next upcoming video. If you like my video, please do like, share and comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.